Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanashari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopiyana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopiyana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stotra Sada Sri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stotra Sada Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Can you get me the book? The book, please. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you, dear. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22, Verse 18. Tam Prartayam tim lalana lalanam Asevita Shri Charanairadristam Vatsammanor Uchapada Swavasaram Konanu Manye Tabudo Bhijatam Tam Prartayam tim lalana lalanam Avesita Shri Charanairadristam Vatsammanor Uchapada Swasaram Konanu Manyeta Budho Bijatam Tam prartayam tim lalana lalanam Asevita Shri Charanaira Drishtam Vatsan Manor Uchapada Swasaram Kunanu Manyeta Budho Vijatam Vatsan Manor Uchapada Swasaram Manyeta Budobhiyatam Tam Partayam Tim Lalana Lalanam Asevita Shri Charanara Dristam Kunanu Manyeta Budhobhiyatam Tam Prartayam Tim Lalana Lalanam Vatsam Manor Uchabana Swasaram Kunanu Manyeta Budho Vijatam Tam Tam Prayartim Lalana Lalamam Asevita Shri Charanara Dristam Mano Uchapada Swasaram Konanu Manyeta Artayanti Lalamam Shri Charanara Vistam Matis Tam Prartayam Tim Lalana Lalamam Asevita Sri Charanaira Dristam Vatsan Manor Uchapada Swasara Yam Tim Lalana Lalamam Sri Charanara Vishtam Manor Uchapada Swasaram Kananu Manyeta Budhobiyatam Tam Prartayam Tim Lalana Lalamam Asevita Sri Charanaira Dristam Vatsan Manor Uchapada Swasaram Kunanu Manyeta Budho Bijatam Tam Here Oh, sorry. Tam, hair, Prartayam Tim, seeking, Lalana Lalamam, the ornament of women, Asevita Shri Charanaihi, Asevita Shri Charanaihi, by those who have not worshipped the feet of Lakshmi, Adrishtam, not seen, Vatsam, beloved daughter, Manoho, O Swayambhuva Manu, Upchapadaha of Uttanapad, Swasaram, sister, Kaha, what? Na Anumanyeta, would not welcome Buddha, a wise man, at the Yatam, who has come on their own accord. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. What wise man would not welcome her, the very ornament of womanhood, the beloved daughter of Swayambhuva Manu and the sister of Uttanapad? Those who have not worshipped the gracious feet of the goddess of fortune cannot even perceive her. Yet she has come of her own accord to seek my hand. Purport. Kardama Muni praised the beauty and qualification of Devahuti in different ways. Devahuti was actually the ornament of all ornamented beautiful girls. A girl becomes beautiful by putting ornaments on her body. But Devahuti was more beautiful than the ornaments. She was considered the ornament of the ornamented beautiful girls. Demigods and Gandharvas were attracted by her beauty. Kardama Muni, although a great sage, was not a denizen of the heavenly planets. But it is mentioned in the previous verse that Vishvavasu, who came from heaven, was also attracted by the beauty of Devahuti. Besides her personal beauty, she was the daughter of the emperor Swayambhuva and a sister of King Uttanapad. Who could refuse the hand of such a girl? Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadam Tikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinavando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopeka Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakam Chana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchakalpa Taruvyacha Kripa Sindupya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yogindraya Namostasmai Shukaya Brahma Rupine Samsara Sarpandastanyo Vishnuratangam Mushat. I offer my humble obeisances to Sri Sukadeva Goswami, the perfect of all the mystics and a partial manifestation of the absolute truth, who taught Maharaj Parikshit, or who saved Maharaj Parikshit, who was being beaten by the snake of samsara. So before I start speaking, I will ask apologies because I have a really tough night. I couldn't sleep at all, so I'm kind of my brain is too slow today. So if I forget any verse, Archita Prabhu, again, I'll take shelter of you. And please forgive me for any mistake I may commit. So what minds a wise man would not welcome her, the very ornament of womanhood, the beloved daughter of Swayambhuva Manu and a sister of Uttanapad. Those who have not worshipped the gracious feet of the goddess of fortune cannot perceive her, yet she has come on her own accord to seek my hand. So at a first sight, it looks like, or from a very narrow-minded perspective, looks like Swayambhuva, Kardama Muni was kind of Maya. So that's why neophyte devotees generally think when we read verses like this, glorifying the beauty of a woman. Generally, we might think, such and such sage or Dar Prabhu or such and such devotee, he was kind of a Maya, feeling attraction toward. I mean, he's a great sage who performed tapasya for many thousands of years, but now he's saying that he's attracted to the beauty of a woman. But there are a few points that clarify the situation. One is that it is says actually in the, I don't remember, it's in the 31 chapter of the 30th chapter. It will be said by Lord Kapila that only the sage Narayana is free from the attraction of the opposite sex. Besides this, everyone else is attracted. This is a principle of material existence. Pumsam striya mituni bhavam etam. Everyone is attracted to the opposite sex. A man, he sees a woman and he becomes attracted. And a woman, when he sees a man, she also becomes attracted. It's the principle of material existence. Only the sage Narayana, he is free from that condition, so to speak. So Swayambhuva Manu was the son of Brahma. So he was also somehow or other attracted by the beauty of Devahuti. Also to say that Devahuti was not an ordinary woman. She was the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, and the daughter of Satarup. And she was the ornament, as Prabhupada says, of all ornamented girls. So to say that a woman is beautiful is, one thing. But to say that she is beautiful among so many beautiful girls, that's something, So sometimes, we see, like I remember when I was like 10 years old, there was this movie, Zorro, and there was this lady, Catherine Zeta-Jones and Antonio Banderas, and I remember there is a part in the movie, I still remember that, Hare Krishna, that they're dancing this traditional 19th century paso doble, and at the end of the dancing, she looks so beautiful, like, her hair is like loosened, and then she's like kind of breathing, agitating, and then she looks extremely beautiful. And I remember when I saw her, I said, wow, this is, I also fell down like Vivas Rasi from some mental airplane. So I also thought, wow, this woman is the perfection of women, of beauty. So, but there is beauty in the material world. We cannot say that sometimes, like when we are struggling in our spiritual life, and most of us are very much attracted to the opposite sex, we try to deny that there is existence of beauty in the world. We fight within our mind. No, she's not beautiful. No, there's no beauty. There's Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. No, there's no beauty. There's no, everything is Maya, 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 Maya. So we become Mayavadis sometimes because we only see Maya. There's no beauty. No, there is beauty because it comes from Krishna. If we say that, so like there's so many, we have so many mothers, you cannot say that there is no beauty in them. Or there are so many bright faces, Prabhu, like Brian. He looks so effulgent today. You cannot say that there's no beauty. If we say that, we're saying that Krishna is not beautiful at all. And he is the most beautiful. Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. His beauty far excels, so many millions of thousands of millions of cubits. So there is beauty, but we understand that this is a temporary and illusory beauty. That's a proper understanding of a great personality. They don't say, just like there is this very, very famous pastime of Srila Prabhupada. This happens in the Fisher mansion, Sri Sri Radha Kunja Vihari's house. So when Prabhupada bought the mansion, he was like, walking around, and because it was the house of a very, materially wealthy person, he was full of old things, so many like paintings, and they have a painting that is so many naked women. And when Prabhupada was walking, and all the sannyasis were like, closing their eyes and closing their ears, and Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. And Prabhupada was looking at the picture and say, wow, it's beautiful, So that's the right understanding, the right vision. The advanced soul, he recognizes that there is beauty in the material world, but he doesn't become attracted to that beauty because he's attracted towards the lotus feet of the Lord. He's attracted to the holy name. He is too much attracted to, his mind is completely absorbed in serving the instruction of his spirit and master, that he doesn't see, or he doesn't become influenced by the beauty of temporary beauty that we find in this world. So then I remember that many years after watching that movie, we were in Sankirtan, and we entered in a CVS because Jagat Prabhu needs some things. And then I saw this magazine, and after so many years, like almost like 25 years, I saw again Catherine Zeta-Jones on a magazine, and she looked horrible. And it was like, oh my God, wow. I mean, there's some beauty there, but there's so many like plastic surgery and stuff, and it's also getting old. And I like, wow, this is, I felt disappointed because I grew up like being in love with that women. It was like a kind of, not like a deity, of course not, but I used to always praise her beauty, and I became so disappointed. But that was good because I realized that beauty in the material world is also temporary. So if you want to enjoy, if you want to like praise and enjoy eternal beauty, then one must become attracted to the lotus feet of the Lord. There is no other way. So here, this Swayambhuva Kardama Muni, he is attracted to the beauty of Devahudi, but we must understand that Kardama Muni has a mission. He has an instruction that has to fulfill. He is not a renounced sannyasi. He is a Prajapati. So he has to create progeny. He has to beget children, and he will do that later in the future. It's not like he is attracted to the external features of Devahudi, and then he later on becomes a Grihameri. He forgets about seeing Vishnu. He forgets about his instructions given by Brahma and Swayambhuva Manu, and he said, Devahuti, you know what? Let's go to Thailand or whatever, some place, some island, Varadero beach, and let's go and enjoy. He doesn't do that. He just engaged in service. Although for some time they kind of enjoy after he was very pleased and satisfied with the service offered by his wife. In order to wanted to satisfy her, he created this airplane. We know the whole story, and they traveled all over the universe for many, many years. And then he created 9 daughters, and these 9 daughters were given to so many other Prajapatis and great sages for the sake of continuing in the mission of creating more progeny to inhabit the universe. And also the Supreme Personality of Godhead will take birth in that family, on that couple. It's not like the Supreme Lord doesn't take birth in a family on a very lusty person. So we have to we have to be clear on this point that Swayambhuva Manu, Kardama Muni, he was not a lusty man. It's not like he's seeing some girl and he becomes attracted by her face, by her, by her breasts and whatever it is, their ornaments, and then he just wants to enjoy the body. No, he has a mission that has to fulfill. In the same way, we should not be narrow-minded, especially those who are in the renounced order. When we see like those who enter in the Grihastha ashram, we shouldn't think, oh, this Prabhu is very fallen. He's in Maya because he has accepted a wife. No, because sometimes we see that those who are accepting a wife, they're more pure than us. We must understand this, that it's not like being a brahmachari or a sannyasi makes us automatically advance in spiritual life. Sometimes some great devotees, they enter the Grihastha ashram and they're able to do huge things for the spiritual master and for Prabhupada's mission, for the Sankirtan movement. We see that in the example of how devotees established our movement in London. It was done by Grihasthas. So, that's a very narrow-minded way of seeing things. But ultimately, even if one is in the Grihastha ashram, and if one is whatever, he enters the Grihastha ashram because he has a personal instruction, or because he thinks that it would be easier for him to be in the association of the opposite sex, still, he should not be attached to the external beauty of home and hearth. Because there will be so many kids around, mommy, daddy, all these things, a wife, my dear husband. This is very pleasurable, and it's very difficult to give it up. I grew up in a very, materially attached family, and I see that all the time in all my, uncles and aunts and father and mother and grandfather. They're all very attached to each other, and they're unable, when the time of death comes, they're unable to give up that attachment, and then they have to take another birth. Bhutva bhutva praliyate, again and again, coming to this cycle of birth and death. Actually, when I was in Cuba a few months ago, one of my aunts, really senior aunt, she passed away. And the day before she passed away, that was the day I arrived. And I saw her and I was talking to her, and she bombarded my mind talking about her daughter. Oh, my daughter, my daughter. So she died in that consciousness, thinking of her daughter. And we hear from Bhagavatam that the highest perfection that the human being can obtain is not to become a very fulfilled or very perfect materialistic person, or to become a great yogi, so many siddhis, hasta siddhi, perfections, and being a great jnani, philosopher, scientist, Einstein, or that guy, or the other one. No, this is not the highest perfection. The highest perfection is ante narayana smritihi. One have to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead at the time of death. Whether you remember the name of Narayana, or Gopal, or Kunja Vihari, or Dwarkadish, whoever, but you have to remember the name of the Lord. This is the supreme perfection that one can obtain in human life. Not that becoming millionaire or becoming very beautiful or very famous. No, these are like also temporary features of the absolute truth. So, but there is a song that His Holiness Gaur Gopal Krishna, no, Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he used to sing, that is from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he said that he used to sing that song aloud. Maybe Sachitana Prabhu remembers the song. Right now I can't remember the Bengali, but it's like Bhaktivinoda Thakur expressing his mood of being attached, being a attached householder, saying that I'm completely attached to my wife. Deho geho kala tradi chinta virat. I'm always attached to my body, my children, my wife. Therefore, my thoughts are always, immersed in this griha. Never thinking of Krishna. Never, completely forgetful about Krishna. And at the end of that song, he says that he prays Ataeva Maya Amore, that let this illusory attachment for the beauty of the household be completely detached, be completely destroyed, and let me become completely attached to the feet of Gopinath. So these are the prayers of an advanced Vaishnava. Also we see that Kunti Maharani prays in the same way. What's that verse? Atha vishvesa vishwatma vishwamurte swageshume sneho pasang iman chindi tridam pandusu vrishnisu. He say, my dear Lord, all personality of the universe, you're the very form of the universe. Please sever the tie of affection that I've got for my family, my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. So here is a woman that Prabhupada explains that women become attached to families. Her family and her husband's families. So their attachments is generally very strong. And she is praying, let this attachment like completely be destroyed. And in the next prayer, you remember the Sanskrit for that prayer. You learned that verse at the bank of the Ganges. Gange Vaughan Udanbati. Yeah, that let my attachment be completely towards your lotus feet, just like the rivers flow. The Ganges River flows towards the sea without hindrance. So she is praying to be completely attached to the beauty of the Lord, because that's a real beauty. We see that in the Brahma Vimohan Lila, when Brahma he felt ashamed of what he has done, stealing the cow, her boys and the calf. So he came down to offer prayers to the Lord, and he came with the mentality of immediately surrender to the Lord and offer prayers, asking forgiveness. But he was captivated by the beauty of Kunja Vihari. When he saw him, he said, Naudmiyate brava puseta didambaraya gumjavatam saparipiksha lakshan mukaya vanyashraye kavala vetra vishana venu lakshman shriye mridupade pasupangayaya. He said, oh, son of the king of the cowherds, your beauty is so great. Your body looks like a dark blue cloud in the summer season. And your garments, they're brilliant like lightning. And also you're wearing this nice garland made of flowers and leaves from the forest. And your beauty is enhanced. The beauty of your face is enhanced with your gunra earrings and also your peak of feather. And you have the Benu flute, and you have this buffalo horn, and you have a stick and what's your jug of rice? No, stick and a jug of rice in the left hand, because Krishna eats with his left hand. So Brahma also felt captivated by that beauty, and before offering so many philosophical prayers, he first became attracted to this beauty. So that means that the beauty of the Lord is not something insignificant. That is said, Prabhupada writes in the Krishna book that if somebody sees Krishna, he sees a festival. That meaning that in the very personality of Krishna, there is all the qualities and all the beauty that we possibly can find in this world. And the question maybe rise, so how can I get, or how can I become attracted to that beauty? Because generally, no, we're very fallen, so we cannot see Krishna around, and not many of us have the attraction towards to see the deity as Krishna, and appreciate the beauty of the deity. Or we may appreciate the beauty for some time, but then when we go out, we completely forget, and so many other beauties come to our mind. So, but our acharyas say that if someone wants to develop love and an attachment towards the beauty of the Lord, one should hear Krishna Katha. That's the only possible way. Because even chanting of the holy name without first hearing the beauty and the qualities and the pastimes of the Lord will not get we won't get the results so easy. One may chant the holy name, but if you don't know about the qualities of the Lord, how can you properly enter in the mood of chanting? First of all, one have to hear the Krishna Katha. And this is explained in many verses of Bhagavatam, that this is the only way to become completely detached from the material, not only to be attached to the beauty of the Lord, but also to become detached from the false propensity to enjoy in this material world, which causes a lot of pain and tribulations. The very attempt to enjoy the false beauty of the Lord, it causes pain, life after life. It's not only one time or in one life I will enjoy, get some pain, but in the next one, I will definitely will enjoy better, and then I'll be successful. No. This is the very attempt. Yehi samparsaya bhoga dukkha jonaya evate. This propensity to enjoy is like a pregnant woman whose son will be named distress. This is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explanation of this verse. He said that material enjoyment means like a pregnant woman whose son will be named distress. So as soon as we have that thought, oh wow, here is a beautiful girl, His Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj used to say that when a man sees a woman, immediately the sense of enjoyment arises. But a sane man will think, oh yeah, she's a beautiful woman, but she's not meant for my enjoyment. She's meant for Krishna's enjoyment. And if somebody practices like that, if someone thinks like that, eventually he will be able to conquer the Supreme Personality of God. So sometimes many people, especially brahmacharis, they have this question: how can I, become detached from? I see so many women around. I'm on book distribution, and so many matas come, and then I feel sometimes overwhelmed and agitated. Well, you should practice like that. You should develop that mentality. That here is a woman, but she's not meant for my enjoyment. She's meant for Krishna's enjoyment. Similarly, a grihasa who enters the household, he also should think like that. Oh, she's a very beautiful girl or woman, but she's not meant for my enjoyment. We have to both serve Krishna. I remember like a few months ago, I mentioned what my grandfather, who was not a very learned person, but he gave me a great teachings when I was a child. He said that men and women should be like the eyes, that they're looking together to the front. They're never looking to each other, otherwise they will miss the path ahead. And my grandfather wasn't a very learned person, but somehow or other he had that understanding, and I saw that in his life, that he was not attached to my grandmother for sense gratification. He will do his thing, and she will serve him all the time, and they lived like that for many years. So it works, and they love each other. So that's how the devotee who enters the family life, she'll see things. And so I can say a couple more things about hearing the Krishna Katha, and one becomes free from all the propensity for enjoyment, and one is able to cross the insurmountable ocean of material existence. Yesterday, I think, Bhaktivinoda Prabhu was saying how sometimes we're on book distribution and we feel like suffering. Yeah, there may be some suffering because we are attached to the result. We want to distribute so many books and we want to deliver, so many people and, make them Krishna conscious and stuff. But for a person who is absorbed in Krishna Katha, there is no such suffering. There is this verse saying by Kapila Deva Muni in the 25th chapter, Kata Mrista Madasraya Srimnamti Taparamti Cha Tapanti Vividas Tapa Nainam Madgata Chetasam. He said that the sadhus who are absorbed in Krishna Katha, they don't experience the miseries of material life because their mind, their consciousness, their heart is filled with my passions, my teachings. So that's why sometimes this process of smarana or memorizing verses from the Shastras is very helpful. I can tell. I was in Mexico and for around a month, I was on my own, basically traveling for some places because my schedule changed due to my trip to Cuba. I have to make some arrangements. So I found myself at a certain point in a place where no devotees were around. And I only had like my big bag and Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's it. And I was all the time somehow or other, Krishna was giving me, he blessed me with the remembrance of so many verses. I was day and night remembering so many verses that they were just coming to my mind. And I remember that I thought, wow, this is a real shelter. We don't learn Sanskrit or some verses to show up like we are very learned or then everyone will come, oh Prabhu, you are the ocean of sloka or sloka das or it's nonsense. We learn verses because that provides shelter at the time of need. When the time of death comes, if you don't remember, you may remember your dog or your daughter or some friend that you met like 50 years ago, and then again one have to come back to the material world. So that's why this process of hearing and reading Srimad Bhagavatam is so powerful. It gives Krishna, one can obtain Krishna consciousness very quick, and one can destroy the cycle of birth and death also very quick. I was talking to one lady yesterday, on my daily preaching online for Cuba, and she's a very qualified lady. She's only 24 years old, and she has her own business, and she speaks 5 languages with 24 years old. She speaks Spanish, English, German, Arabic. Who speaks Arabic in Cuba? Come on, and I think French. So, and she has her own business, and she's very successful, and she was showing me pictures of her business and everything. And then she said, well, we have this plan, and if we preach this to all the people in this way, if we engage these people in this service, of that service, they will become free from, they'll become financially free, and they will escape what is called the rat race, the wheel of the rat. And I say, yeah, this is very good. Definitely, this is really nice. But once you escape the wheel of the rat wheels, there is another wheel. There is a samsara chakra kadanat grasanat pranitam. Prahlad Maharaj says that. The samsara chakra, the wheel of karma or the wheel of samsara, you cannot escape that but some, economic development by speaking Arabic. By the time of death, when the Yamaduta comes, you'll say so many things in Arabic. Mashallah, mashallah, Bismillah, Rahman, Rahim. You won't escape the cycle of birth and death by saying that. Only Antenarayana Smritihi. And for the purpose of remembering Krishna at the time of death, one has to absorb himself. His consciousness has to be completely absorbed in this Krishna Katha. Is that verse? Samsara Sindhu Atidustarang Uttitisho. Nanya Pravo Bhagavatav Purusho Tamasya Lila Kata Rasa Nisevanangam Tarena Pumam Bhave Vivida Dukkha Davarditasya. Sutta Goswami, 12th canto. He says, for one who wants to cross the unsurmountable ocean of material existence, there is only one way. And that way is, there is only one boat, actually. He uses the word boat. There is only one boat to cross that ocean. And that boat is developing attachment to the cultivation of the process of hearing the transcendental lila of the Lord. So this is the only way by we can completely be free from attachment to temporary beauty in this world and be attached to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radhakunja Vihari or the lotus feet of Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish. So I'll end the class right here. If there is any comments or questions, just Brigupati Prabhu, please enlighten us with your beautiful comments.
Start thank you for a very wonderful, enlivening class. At the beginning of your class, you brought attention to the fact that Kardama Muni was glorifying the beauty of Devahuti, and you raised the question as to why he was doing that. Was he in Maya? And I have a thought. This is my own thought. I haven't heard this or read this. I think he was being respectful. Mm-hmm. And this is my logic, that here, Swayambhuva Manu is bringing his daughter. The history was given that she chose Kardama Muni. She heard about him and she saw him or whatever, but she fixed her mind on him. So, that takes a lot of courage, and then here's Swayambhuva Manu bringing it. So it's not like, if somebody brings you something very valuable, you don't just say, okay, I'll just put it over there in the corner, I'll get around to it. No, here's the emperor of the universe bringing his beautiful daughter who chose him. He has to reciprocate. I think he's reciprocating. And he wasn't in front of the four Kumaras and Narada Muni. It's not like the sages in Amasharani was sitting there. Well, what does he say? No, it's like there, the father, the daughter, and so he's reciprocating by glorifying the beauty. He's saying, okay, you've chosen me. I'm choosing you too. I also feel a great appreciation that you come and I value what you're doing. I value the offering. That's just my thought.
So much, Prabhu. That's why in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Swarup Damodar Goswami says, Yao Bhagavata Paro Vaishnavera. Just take shelter over Vaishnava and learn Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Otherwise, one should go to Sadguru or something else. Yes, Archita Prabhu, please. Another great Vaishnava.
Brigapati's point is well taken, but it's not that he was lying. She was actually beautiful. He wasn't just being political, saying what was politically correct. Devahuti was actually very beautiful, so he was stating the truth. But at the same time, he was, as you said, he was renounced, and his approach to her was not just based on sense gratification. And Prabhupada made that point right here in this room. Prabhupada said once that all my female disciples are beautiful, but it doesn't mean that every time the wife smiles, there should be sex life. In other words, one has to be trained. Yes, you can see the beauty in the world, but the mentality, as you've so nicely said, should be that this beautiful person or this handsome guy is meant for Krishna service. Hare Krishna.
I just have a simple question. What is Krishna Katha?
Oh, Katha means the possums, the possums of the Lord, the stories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk, yeah. Yeah, one of the Matais wants to say something, please. Lila Katha Rasani Sevanam Antarena. Such a beautiful verse.
Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. This topic's been confusing to me. It's been a long discussion over a few months now. And I think your class is a nice summary of practical, but having the goal in mind of serving Krishna. What came up to me when you were speaking about glorification of the beauty, that while glorifying the art, but glorifying the artist. So remember that not this as object, but who is the creator. And the same with qualities. Well, I think Mataji is more attracted to not bodily qualities, but inner qualities. But it comes from the devotional service. It's come from applying it with the goal of serving Krishna. The flowers are so beautiful, but when they are on the altar by Krishna, they are even more beautiful. And remember where it's coming from. Thank you.
That's a proper understanding. Thank you so much. Sachitanoy Prabhu, please.
This is a memory that, since you mentioned Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, that he used to be very expert in purifying his devotees or whoever was in the crowd. So one time, because this is about family life and attachments, I was there presently when one devotee in Bhubaneswar, he's an elder man already, he wanted to get married. The girl was 30 years younger than him. So Maharaj told him, no way. But somehow that he didn't give up. He went for a second time. And he was trying, he went for a third time, and I was shocked, surprised. So then we went to Bhagavatam class, and Maharaj is speaking about the dangers of, trying to be too attached to enjoyment. And then he says, and I'm making it really short, he said, there are a lot of dogs there looking after sex. And right here, and he pointed out to them, and we have a two-legged animal. And I thought, oh my God, if that was me, I probably would bloop right there. So anyway, in another occasion, we were in Canada or in New Jersey. I also happened to be there. And a man, the one who's hosting the program, he said, Maharaj, this is your home. This is your house. Yeah, it's like very cultural way to do things. And then Maharaj is giving class. Somehow it's about attachment and family attachment. And at one point he mentions, he says, this Prabhu, he said that this is my home. But I tell you something, if I really take this home, he will be crying. He will be crying like that. So, and then like that. So we should cry for Krishna, not for Maya, not for this and that.
He was very expert in destroying, people's attachment to the opposite sex. I remember there is also a class. Well, he's talking to one disciple. He's clearly seeing that there is one disciple that married a Mataji that was not so sincere, and therefore they were engaged in so many material activities. So he was from Australia, and then Maharaj was saying, now that you enter you got married and then you're in Australia, every night you're calling me, Maharaj, we're quarreling, crying. She will make you cry and you're a fool. He was like chastising me like anything. And he said, she will make you cry, Baba. She will make you cry, Baba. It's easy to satisfy Krishna, Baba. And he was like, he completely, I believe that after that, he may get divorced or something like that. And he said, I'm telling you to stay here in Krishna Balaram temple, and you want to go to Australia. What is there in Australia, Baba? So much stool in Australia, Baba. Stay here. So Maharaj was very, very expert. I love him so much. Anytime I see you, I remember him. Hare Krishna. Yes, Ganganath Prabhu. Please don't ask me about who are the 6 Swamis, okay? He asked that yesterday.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Isn't that the Srimad Bhagavatam is essential for cultivating our appreciation for Krishna Katha? Why is it that the emphasis is placed on Krishna Katha, but in the Srimad Bhagavatam, only a very small portion is the actual pastimes of Krishna?
From the very beginning, it's a glorification of Krishna, and all his pastimes. So not only when we say Krishna pastimes, also refers to the pastimes of the incarnations of Krishna. So Bhagavatam describes the pastimes of all the incarnations of Krishna and the pastimes of his devotees as well. So don't think that only if one listens to the Krishna Katha and the 10th canto, then one can go back to the spiritual world. No, actually Prabhupada sometimes mentioned in his classes that if somebody thinks that there is difference between the Rasa Lila and the Kurukshetra battle, he'll commit an offense. So this is the absolute plane, and everything is transcendental there. So there's no difference. There may be, difference in the rasas, in the mellows, and spiritually speaking, the rasa dance is sometimes to say to be more advanced or higher than other rasas, but ultimately everything is in the absolute plane. So we should not think that only the 10th canto is Krishna Katha. Everything else is Krishna Katha. Actually, if you later on, because you're very intelligent, you will read Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti's commentary so many years later, not now. And you will read it, and you will see that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was so expert that even in verses like, speaking about the sages, he will see Krishna. And there is his class of Gaur Govinda Maharaj when he's talking about like the pole stars and the 7 rishis. And then he starts saying something very esoteric, that how the meaning of Bhagavatam have 2 meanings. One is very visible and another is hidden. The visible meaning of Bhagavatam is that one should worship one should engage in Bhagavata Dharma, one should engage in devotional service. But the hidden meaning of Bhagavatam is that we have no power to engage in Bhagavad Dharma. We cannot just call out to Krishna. We have no ability for that because we are in Maya. We completely forget about Krishna. We forgot him. But then Bhagavatam is Krishna's crying for us. He comes, he descends to this world because we cannot go there. And he's calling us because we cannot call him. So, and then Maharaj was saying how he actually said to his disciples, are you seeing Krishna in this verse, Baba? He said, no, blind man. You're only seeing stars, 7 riches, this or that, but you're not seeing Radha and Krishna in this verse. So we cannot say that, I mean, it's wrong to say that only 10 canto has Krishna pastimes. The whole Bhagavatam. Also, you will read in that commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that in the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Janmadhyasya Yatahas, he gives 5 types of explanation of the verse. And the first explanation is completely different from the last one. And the last explanation is only Krishna Katha. He's talking about the gopis and the rasa dance. And when I read that for the first time, it was like, Tene Brahma Hridaya. This is no rasa dance, But they were so elevated that they could see these things. I mean, Bhagavatam revealed these things to, high advanced personality. Yes, Ganganath Prabhu wants to clarify in this point.
Everything you said is correct. I was just going to give another angle.
Okay.
That's all. There's the Prabhupada in the first canto, first verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, very first verse, he says the Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for understanding the substance and the categories. So
that's the first verse?
The very first verse in the purport, Prabhupada says Srimad Bhagavatam is about understanding the substance and the various categories. So understanding Krishna doesn't just mean understanding Krishna's pastimes of Vrindavan. It means Vande Gurum Isha Bhaktam Isham Ishvaratadakam Ta Prakashas Tata Shaktir Krishna Chaitanya Samjakam. It means understanding Krishna and his various categories of energy. So when you're going through the Srimad Bhagavatam, you're dealing with tattva of all different types. Krishna tattva, Bhakti tattva, Rasa tattva.
Pranta.
So many different tattvas. So you have to understand all those things in order to understand Krishna in total. Otherwise, you'll misunderstand. So that's why there's so many warnings throughout Prabhupada's commentary and the Acharya's commentaries. Don't jump to the 10th canto. Because if you don't understand the categories of Krishna, you're not going to understand the substance.
Okay. Shamurari Prabhu wants to say something.
Can we say that Radha and Krishna are contained in every word in the Bhagavad Gita, and when we become purified, we can see that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they're the Janmadhyasya Jataha. Everything comes from Krishna, and Bhagavatam is Shri Bhagavatam Ikshate. The very word Shri means Radharani. So if we say, the Bhagavatam is actually the beauty of Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam means that the beauty of Bhagavan. So, and Krishna is never alone. So it's completely wrong to say that there is no Radha and Krishna for example, in a verse or in a chapter speaking about Sankhya Yoga. We don't have the ability to see that. But as I say, if you read Vishwanath Chakravarti's Thakur commentary, he sees all the time Radha, Krishna, the gopis, and he explains it in a very philosophical way. It's not that he's just imagining things or saying things on his own. He is explaining philosophically why Radha and Krishna is in every word. Actually, there is another verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Tulya Bhagavat, Bibhu Sarva Shraya, Prati Shloke, Prati Akshara, Nana Artakai. That this Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of God and He's the shelter for all. And Prati Shloke, Prati Akshara, in every word and every syllable, there's unlimited meanings. Sarva, Nana Artakai. There's so many meanings. We may not be able to see all the meanings because of, we are not so developed in spiritual life. But those who are developed, they definitely see these things. Sometimes Gaur Govinda Maharaj used to say that the inhabitants in the spiritual world, they also hear Bhagavatam daily because it's an eternal activity. The Guru speaks and the disciple hears, and this goes on and on, for eternity. Yeah, so it's completely wrong to say that Krishna and Radha, they're not in first canto or second canto or whatever. Okay, the last one, Govinda Vasha Prabhu.
Your class makes me want to stay more focused and forward in my spiritual life and say no to all Maya's attractions. Thank you very much for your class. And you mentioned about when Prabhupada was at Fisher Mansion. I have another story that my Guru Maharaj told me, Indra Swami, about when Prabhupada and Indra Swami were on the plane, and all the lights went down and the TV came out to watch the movie, and Indra Swami started chanting slokas. And Prabhupada was watching the movie, and he told Praduma, hey, why is Prabhupada watching Charlie Chaplin? And he said, oh, you can see beauty and also the humor in Charlie Chaplin. So just like what you said also, you could see that Krishna is the supreme beauty in everything. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vanchakalpataru visha kripa sindubhyaya vacha. Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.